What is up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you beautiful blasphemous people? I've had a I'm not even going to call it a shitty day, I'm just going to call it a day. And you see two avatars here. Allie has been going through physical training and doing her shit. She is not in a camera position. And I have my avatar on because we're using Zoom and this is easier. So you're going to have avatars. We're going to be talking. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my shitty day. So, woke up to another messenger.
Also, I'm just gonna like completely derail you for 30 seconds and get to say, after what specifically you just fucked up, which I think our audience owes, like we owe them an explanation. We were laughing at each other. I officially get to say, okay, boomer.
Yeah. Call me
Copy
a boomer.
and paste your fucking stream key like a normal human.
Call me a boomer. Yeah, I totally restarted everything. The brand new computer. I'm like, my brand new computer's fucked because, my brand new car is fucked. Why not? And, no, it was, I put a B instead of a D, even though we rechecked. I had Ali telling me the fucking stream key. I can't even, it's been that kind of a day. Okay, so I wake up to more messenger reveals, talking shit, misrepresenting me, lying blatantly, just fucking lying blatantly about me once again. And I got upset, and I rushed into a stream, not waiting for Allie to be my voice of reason, not waiting for her to wake up. She's 3 hours behind me. I'm like, fuck it, I'm mad, I'm going to stream. And I did. And I stand by my stream earlier.
And then, you put your foot in your mouth because people did not hear what you were saying. They heard you.
Yes.
They heard you not knowing what you were saying yet.
Yes, so I started the stream badly, like, trying to explain, like, the state of mind I was in Thursday and how I was sick. And I stated it at the beginning of the stream Thursday. But, like, I've literally had the worst year of illness. And this was, like, a different kind of illness. It lasted about 3 days. And it wasn't like I was sick, like I wasn't throwing up. I had no real cold symptoms. I was just dizzy and I was lightheaded and I couldn't think straight. So, I had that stream and I was pretty hot and I was rage again. I will admit that I was raging. So I can kind of understand, like what is rage saying? Because like I was venting because when people lie on you, you vent. And then, I have to stop all of that venting shit and I have to go to work because I work a full-time job. And, I've spoken about my car troubles on this channel. I literally spent thousands of dollars on my last car and we decided, all right, we're going to get a new car that's going to be new and it's not going to be a money pit. And we spent more thousands of dollars getting a new car. I'm literally broke off my ass. I'm on my way to work today, and my new car tells me to stop when it's safe. And it's completely overheating. And I don't know what's wrong with it yet. I got it to the fucking shop. I had to call into work. So that just outraged. My OCD does not allow that to happen, and I cannot afford that to happen at all. So, I was raging and I was in a rage, not even dealing with messenger reveals. And then we went, MathPig was having messenger on. I commented in Discord when people told me about it that, like, I really shouldn't, like, I'm fucking mad. I really should just go play some WoW and, like, forget how devastating today has been to my life. And I didn't do that. I went to MathPig's stream and Messenger's talking shit and lying again. And so I decided to confront Messenger. And yeah, the link to that stream is in the description below. Now, there was good things and bad things. Maybe some ground was gained, maybe not. I am still kind of reeling because I really feel like I nailed Messenger to the wall. Caught him on 2 or 3 lies. Very, very clearly. I thought it was great. I've been told it was great. I watched it back. I felt it was even better than how I felt about it at the time. But this isn't about me tonight. Oddly enough. This is about Allie.
It's always about you, Naka.
Well, no, but I mean, I've had now this morning stream to vent, and I've had a face-to-face with Messenger Reveals himself to vent, but you haven't had a chance to say anything. So, Allie, what's up, my girl?
Hey, Knox. So I had kind of a similar start to my morning, except that my morning was started with a bunch of people messaging me saying that you had backpedaled on our Thursday stream and that you had disavowed me. And I'm sitting here going, okay, so let me go ahead and figure out where Knock put his foot in his mouth and what y'all are misinterpreting. Because I know Knock well enough to know that he probably said a bunch of things that he thought meant one thing, and people heard something different, because Knock does that sometimes, and you have to speak Knockese in order to understand what he's saying.
I do that a lot. Like I blame being raised as a Yankee and a redneck hillbilly from North Carolina. It is completely my parents' fault. I put the onus on them. You guys can blame them for it. It's not my fault.
So this is the this, like, somebody just asked in the chat, is this the last video you guys are doing on it? Yes. Knock made that commitment.
Without a doubt.
Knock made that commitment in the Discord, and we're going to be making it again at the end of the stream. But we wanted to talk about things from a slightly different perspective, because unfortunately, because Knock got seized by the Rage Demon, he ended up like jumping into that stream without having actually gone back and watched the last 30 minutes or so where we put out our message to the community and seeing what we said. And he relied on the dishonest framing of the people in the J Pasic stream to kind of like give him a guide on what it was we were saying. I want to talk a little bit about what Knock and I define as deplatforming and cancel culture, because I think that there is a, like, if you're going to start with a conversation, you need to figure out like where you can meet on common ground and what terms mean. Because when we say we were not calling for deplatforming, when Knock and I talked it out, what we both said was deplatforming means we want YouTube to kick him off. And neither of us gives a fuck about that. Deplatforming means you want Twitter to kick him off, Facebook to get rid of his page, whatever the fuck. Deplatforming means you want the big companies to stop the person. That's not what we asked for. That's not what we argued. What we argued was that we thought the community should self-police, and that people, if they're going to be bringing people, you know, if they're going to be bringing Messenger or people like him onto their streams, that they need to know the history behind what he does and be aware of that, and really consider whether that's something that they want to expose their community to, and if so, how they're going to handle it. Because he has, and we showed on that stream, actual proof of him actually triggering one of our friends into PTSD shock. There were trigger warnings up the wazoo for that clip, but we showed that on the stream. Neither of us is going to back down on saying he has abused people in our community. Like, neither of us is going to back down on that. I will freely admit, yeah, I did fucking say my ideal is that he gets kicked out of the community. And I stand by those words. I know it's probably not going to happen. I know that there are those of you who want to have these conversations. Our stream was for you, honestly. Our stream was for you because that stream, and we're working on going through and timestamping all the clips and points that we made, because there's a lot of them. We went through almost his entire history on YouTube and all of the different appearances where he's made reference to those events. We put that out there so that people who are thinking about having him on can take a look at that history, and when he tells lies, that you guys can do exactly what happened on MathPid's stream earlier, where Doubting Thomas and a few others called Messenger the fuck out on his lies. You know, hey, I physically saw the clip where you did this. I physically was there when you did that. You know what I mean? Because he will use any opportunity. And the reason we responded, by the way, is because for 10 fucking months, and we showed multiple clips of him doing this, he's been going on to streams and defaming Aaron and defaming Shay. We didn't say shit about him after the debate with Shay, except for occasional passing mentions when he was in our side chat. We have not talked about him basically at all since I've been a part of the fucking channel. In fact, we refused to let people talk on the about him on the very first stream that I actually moderated, which was the one on atheist and polytheist unity and why we thought it was important. That was the one where I met Ocean. So,
agree. Yeah.
like, we didn't do this as some kind of smear campaign. We're not fucking punching down. We've had a smear campaign against us, and we were clapping back because he made the accusation that Shay was the one who hurt Aaron. And we had proof that that was not true. And we got sick and tired of seeing friends of ours, friends of the channel, people that we respected, hearing these lies, who were not around for this, who didn't know the truth. So we wanted that to be out there. We wanted to see, we also wanted to showcase this long history of fucking lying. He goes onto these channels and he makes up different versions of his own story over and over and over again, and makes different versions of his fucking claims, and then tries to say that he never lies or never feels negative emotions. We recorded him fucking yelling at Aaron for having a PTSD attack. When Shay said that Aaron was going into like fits, he yelled at her and said, "It's not about her," meaning Aaron, "it's about the truth."
Yeah, and we show that plain as day. And you know, it's
and again, not... like, we're not going to be calling out or judging channels that fucking platform him. That is not what we did. That's not what we're setting out to do. We're not trying to do some sort of call out culture shit. We're not trying to cancel him in the sense that we want anything taken away. We want people to think hard before they platform him. That's all.
And like with our 2,400 subs, we have that ability, right? Like, but you know, and I could sit here and show you some clips. Like I literally thought about showing you the clip where I told Messenger to his face that I think he's dangerous. I personally think he should be deplatformed until he makes reparations, at least until he admits his wrongdoing in this. You know, I have admitted my wrongdoing in this. I just on the stream to his face, I owned I did not have the private conversation I told him I would have. I owned that. And it has resulted in this, honestly, right? But you need to own your shit, dude. And you haven't done that. And before we get it, because Allie's got to, she needs to vent. And she has every right to vent. Because it's not only a misrepresentation of me, it's not only a lie about me, it's a lie about us, right? It's a lie about what we did.
And we worked our fucking ass off on that stream for over a week. Like, we got our shit together for this. This was not a spur of the moment thing like this morning's stream was. This was something that you and I and Surus and Aaron and Shay worked on for a fucking week and did not say shit about until the day before when we announced it.
And we got an apology today from Messenger. So yeah. I want to show that, and you might not be ready to see it. I know that you've seen it. It's 2 minutes, 43 seconds. I'm going to pause it at a point at least. Okay.
Well, I wanted to say something to MathPig really quick.
Oh yeah, go for it.
MathPig, please do not misinterpret what I said. Like, when I said we made that stream for folks like you that might be having him on the platform, don't mistake what I'm saying for any disrespect. MathPig, you and I have had conversations.
I'm not trying to disrespect MathPig at all, because MathPig did a brilliant job today. I don't want to misrepresent what happened on the stream. I think, MathPig is trying to make an attempt to bring us together. And
I wanted to say that I understand that you and I have a difference of opinion on certain things, and we've had really good conversations. MathPig, I was not calling you out for having him on, like, at all. I wasn't. Like, I was trying to make it clear that I was not doing that. I respect you, and I respect what you were trying to do by bringing them together in the after show. I saw you attempting to moderate and seeing everybody getting into things. I appreciate what you were trying to do. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that you understand that, like, I'm not going after you. And I also didn't want to go onto the stream because I had fucking, like, I was just getting out of PT. I was in a lot of pain, and I was going to be going into training shortly after that. And I did. Like, I hopped into Discord for a half a sec while I was in training, but, like, I have packed as fuck days on Tuesdays. Like, I have not been available all day, and yet I've been having to make time in the moments where I'm supposed to calm down and breathe between all these appointments. Yeah. So I'm just making sure that it's clear to you and everybody else that is not what I was saying.
Yeah.
All right?
And Matt,
like, I respect you, dude. Like, we might disagree on some stuff, but I respect you.
And MathPig wasn't only brilliant in our after show, and he did moderate it as best as he could. I was raging, and he allowed me to. Thank you so much, MathPig, for allowing me to, because I actually feel a lot better. I was actually able to say to Messenger the things that I wanted to say. And I want to say that there could be resolution to all of this. And if there is, that's going to be due to MathPig's intervention today. So I want to give him a lot of credit. Now, I think the probabilities of resolution to this are very low, because I don't think Messenger is actually interested in resolution. But we'll see. That's just my opinion and my bias. We'll see. I'm willing to give him a chance. I'm thinking. I am an open book, and I'm willing. I don't want drama. I want shit to be better. I would love for Aaron to receive some kind of something from Messenger, because like today it was about me, and it really should have been about Aaron. It should have been about Lady Tasha. It should have been about a little bit more of that. In
the first hour and a half definitely was.
I did get to mention it, and I did get to. I do think that, because we talked for a while after the stream as well, that there is a possibility to some resolution. It is far-fetched, but it's possible. And if it happens, MathPig gets the credit. I'm making that plain as fucking day right now before we show Messenger's apology, because I told him I was going to do it. We got to have a laugh. It's funny. It's cringy. We're going to have a laugh.
Well, and I want to say one other thing, though, because the big reason why I wanted to say anything at all was there was a major allegation against my character.
Well, go ahead and talk for a minute, because I'm going to use the restroom really, really quick before I play this clip.
Okay. So there was a major allegation made against my character in that JPASIC stream that Nock sort of addressed at the beginning of it. And I wanted to... It's a 4-hour stream. I combed the stream for it, but Vegeta claimed that I called him a homophobe and a racist. And the thing is, I do not recall at all doing that. What I recall doing is giving 2 different trigger warnings, and I'm not going to apologize for doing this, by the way, for homophobic and racist rhetoric that was in that stream, because it was a 7.5 hour long stream, and I didn't know exactly where that rhetoric was, but I knew it was close enough to the clips I was using that I was concerned that people in the community were potentially going to be hurt or triggered by it. And I care about my community, so I'm not going to apologize for issuing those trigger warnings. If I ever at any point use the phrasing or anything to the point of, Vegeta is a racist or Vegeta is a homophobe, then I apologize, genuinely. And Vegeta, if you find a timestamp with me using that language, because it was me that you claimed said this, then I am sorry. If you want to send it to me or somebody else, I am sorry. I generally try not to use language like that to attack somebody's character. I probably did it during a point where I was either high or towards the beginning of the video and it was a slip, but I do not recall doing that. I will not apologize for my trigger warnings about that rhetoric or for saying that it was probably a good thing that you're no longer a moderator on our streams, because Nock and I do not condone the kind of behavior that we saw on that stream and of our moderators. In fact, that whole thing that was brought up with Shay has gotten talked to, and she'll vouch for this, by me and Nock and other mods multiple times for shitty behavior in the side chat and in the Discord. There have been multiple occasions where I've even stripped her of her mod privileges for brief periods of time for behaving in that manner. I believe that
I still love her deeply every time.
Oh, yeah. We can find it amusing and still think it's not acceptable behavior as a mod.
Yeah, I mean, we tell her, like, Shay, chill out. And yeah, Allie has been tough. But like Shay always has legitimate points. That's the last thing you ever want to do is like dismiss Shay's points. The way she goes about it sometimes, and she'll admit, like, yeah, I'm fucking trying to piss him off. But like her points are always spot on.
So again, like, as far as that goes, I refuse to apologize for saying that it's probably better that Vegeta is no longer a moderator in the Discord or here, because his behavior that night gave me reason to believe that the reasons that we let him go have not changed. And really, it wasn't even we, because I was not in charge at that time. That was Nock. That was all Nock. Like, I agreed with his decision, but that was Nock's opinion. And, like, I had no place in that.
Basically, I decided well, and as I admitted to, I got triggered by Vegeta calling me an SJW because, like, when people insult you with SJW, it's a different thing than what SJW actually means. Again, like I didn't quite get it into it with Messenger tonight, but like when you call me the raging SJW, you're not speaking to me of the things I'm proud of, the social programs I've fought for and I've won. Like the state level shit I've done here in Michigan. You're not talking to me about that work. You're talking to me once again about cancel culture and the toxic element of what would be a SJW. See, there's a very big difference in that, right? Like, I am proud to be an SJW. I am proud to stand for social justice. I am proud to stand for equality. But I am not into cancel culture. As I have demonstrated time and time again by platforming the worst of the fucking worst, Matt Powell, Misha Popoff, you name it, I do it. I am not about that.
Well, and again, our call to the community was very specific. We agreed. And again, I stand by what I said. I'm also going to mention that when you watch this clip, if you want me to send Knock the timestamp for the full statement,
I'll be right back once again. I'm going to check on my daughter really quick, so finish up, and then I'll come back and I'll start the clip.
Yep. My full statement at the beginning was that we wanted to make it clear the abuses that he had done in our community, on our channel, because we didn't want that to happen to anybody else. The tail end of the statement, after the part that he clipped out, was that if you stop giving him the attention that he so obviously craves, he will leave on his own. And I'm hoping that the community, after seeing the evidence, will choose to ignore him. He clipped the most angry, disingenuous, sounding part of that. And yeah, I'm going to use that phrase because it wasn't even hyperbole. I really do genuinely stand by my words. I hope that the community shuts him the fuck out. I know it probably won't. I'm hoping that the evidence that we presented, at the very least, will give those in the community that choose to have him on ammo to call him out on his lies. Because Knock and I were both tired of him attacking people that we cared about, unprompted, on his own, in those chats and in those live streams. This has been going on for months. All right? So right, again, Vegeta, my final statement to Vegeta is if I directly called you a homophobe or a racist, then I apologize. I do not apologize for issuing trigger warnings to my audience, and I do not apologize for holding and continuing to hold the opinion that with your behavior in that chat, it is better that you are no longer a moderator on this channel or in the Discord. I'm not going to apologize for that because that sort of behavior is unbecoming of a moderator. That's all I said.
I have to agree because, to where I once again admitted my wrong in regards to Vegeta. He called me an SJW. I got triggered. I went off. I apologized repeatedly. He can't seem to get over it. But outside of that, his comments are very racy. They're designed to make you fucking get upset. And literally when I'm streaming earlier today and at the very end of it, he jokes to Jay Pasick and calls him Gay Pasick as if being gay is an insult. Well, then you have to wonder why you're so butthurt that people think your comments are fucking homophobic. You have to bear responsibility for your own actions, my friend. I'm sorry,
and the comments that I was referring to that were because of the format of our stream on display on the screen that I could not avoid having on display included a very, very, very detailed homoerotic fantasy involving sexual abuse of Jesus as Lord. So, and it was used as a mocking tool against Jill. And yeah, I get the logic of doing that from a perspective of somebody who likes being edgy. I can even get why somebody would find that humorous, but that doesn't make it not homophobic and it doesn't make it not triggering.
And yeah, and I literally, on MathPick stream, somewhat defended, even though because they brought up something Shay said about Matt Powell and coming on to Matt Powell. Obviously Shay's joking because Shay's not attracted to Matt Powell, despises Matt Powell, but Shay was trolling Matt. And I was like, you know what, maybe it's not the best tact, But at the same time, you know, like Matt Powell literally calls for the genocide of people like Shay. Forgive her if she has a little fun with a douchebag.
Well, and so again, we're not attacking Wujita. I'm actually genuinely apologizing. If I called you that, I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for the trigger warnings, and I'm not going to apologize for saying that
Shay's like,
that
I honestly do think he's kind of cute.
But I mean, like, Doubting Thomas is saying that Wujita should be here to defend himself. We're not attacking Wujita.
Yeah,
like, we're not. I'm issuing an apology, and I'm stating what I apologize for and what I don't.
I'm literally not. Like, I came out today. I know that Wujita is not homophobic. Like, I know, like, I've had Wujita in streams right there beside me fighting the fight. Like, I have no beefs with Wujita. I really don't. Like, even after, like, the shit talk today, I understand it. Like, I've said it in the stream. Wujita has reason to be salty. I was very harsh. I deserve his scorn and saltiness. So, yeah, I'm by no means talking any shit about Wujita at all. I'm telling him to take onus, you know, for his comments. And he did. I mean, Messenger Reveals actually was right in that when he called Wujita out on that. But that's all I'm saying. Like, I am taking full responsibility that Wujita has every reason to dislike me because I gave him that reason. I'm not taking away from that at all.
Yeah, so again, like, I just wanted to address the fact that it was said that I said that. And if I did, go ahead, somebody send me a timestamp. I'm happy to look at it and I will own to it. And this is my apology if that's the case. Like, genuinely, if that's the case, if I did call you homophobic or really, racist, Wujita, I mean that I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for the rest.
Do, Ali, like, and you don't have to do that. I didn't ask you to do that. Like, I
did that because I want to take responsibility. Yeah. If I fucked up, like, that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, I mean, I literally agree with you. Like, and I said it in the stream today. So if people mistook it like I was calling out Ali, I wasn't. Because if you write things in the comments, if people don't know, if they weren't with you like I was, when you did confront those homophobes, seeing those comments, they're going to read them as being homophobic. That's on you, the writer of those comments. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to talk shit. He actually did take responsibility and said, yeah, I am a dick and I do that. So, I mean, Wujita knows. And I think that if he could actually get over the shit that I talked, he'd understand it. But he's a human being, and I pissed him off. I understand.
Well, and, you know, I'm going to say one last thing, you know, so to speak, about that, and that is, you know, saying that somebody's comments are homophobic is not saying that that person is. You know, you can make a joke thoughtlessly. Yeah, you can make a joke thoughtlessly that other people find hurtful. And that's possible. And that is what I was pointing out. I never intended to call him a homophobe if that is the message that was sent. Yeah, and again, if I said that, then it was definitely a mistake.
Yeah, we will. Like, Ali's apologizing, and I'm trying to make it clear. But we will walk away from this. You know, no harm feelings towards anybody. Like, seriously, like, Wujita, I have no ill will towards you. I understand why you're upset with me, dog. I really do. And I apologize once again. I really do. Like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I considered you a friend. I did you dirty. I own up to it. I'm fully aware of it. And I apologize. I really do. You have reason to dislike me. I gave you that reason. I can't say anything more than that. But yeah, we will move on. I want to show this clip because it's kind of fucking funny.
Well, yeah, and I was in that stream where you popped off. It was the only time you've ever yelled over me.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong. There's no doubt about it.
All right, so now on to the fun shit, guys. This is the stuff you actually wanted, which is playing the cringe. And we're going to have to pause it in the middle and play it in segments so that we don't get a false copyright strike and people can't say that our work isn't transformative.
Yeah. Cringe warning. And you know, and Messenger, like, we talked about this cringe tonight. Me and Messenger talked about this tonight face to face. He admitted that this was a straight up fuck you to me. Because I asked for him to do the adult thing and, like, apologize to Aaron. Just like, you know, like Messenger knows, like, deep down Messenger knows that he fucked up. Right? But this is his apology, so let me make sure Let me get rid of the icon there in the middle of full screen because I was recording a video earlier when all this shit was fucking going down. Alright. Alright, so. Messenger's apology today at 2 o'clock.
Hello, skeptic community. My name is John, otherwise known as the Messenger. Recently, a live stream crusade was hosted by Nakasuchi, Aaliyah Kai, Shay.
Say that again, what?
Oh, you had your image over it for a sec.
Oh, yeah, I had to take it down. Alright, so let's start that back over again. Messenger's apology at 2 o'clock today.
Hello, skeptic community. My name is John, otherwise known as the Messenger. Recently, a live stream crusade was hosted by Nakasuchi, Aaliyah Kai, Shay, otherwise known as the Atheist Rationale, Cirrus, and Aaron. This video was promoted on the Progressive Liberals channel with Aaliyah Kai and Ethan. The purpose of their endeavor was made quite clear. Let's listen in.
So yeah, like, we're going to be going over that. We're going to be going over the monstrous 7.5-hour stream and at least clipping the points that are important for it, the allegations that he's making against the community, and squashing these arguments that he makes for once and for all. We're hoping this is going to be
so let's go ahead and pause it really quick.
All right. I was going to let the whole spiel go and then let you respond, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, did that look like the face of a man who's never felt a negative emotion to you? Because it looked like somebody who was about to get into a barroom brawl to me, and you've been around more of those people than I have.
Well, yeah, I mean, he clearly got upset a few times today. Although, like, Math Pig was brilliant in pointing out he wasn't being emotional. He was being, what was it?
Passionate. Brilliant trolling by Math Pig, if that's what it was intended as.
Points to Math Pig.
And by the way, Math Pig, again, like, at the risk of sounding like I'm fucking rimming you or something, like, you did do a pretty damn good job as moderator dealing with a very out of control knock.
Yeah, I was fucking raging.
All right, let's finish the video.
All right, so they're going into what you said on ProLib, and Messenger is harping on this. So let's watch.
Community to shut the fuck up about Messenger reveals stream. So this is going to be our big debunk stream. We're going to be working to try to put an end to the so-called Messenger saga and just get him kicked the fuck out of the community, because at this point, ultimately, he's a tiny small fry that barely has any influence, and he's desperately trying to drum up drama in order to get more influence and more attention. And we don't want him to have that sort of power. We don't want people to go over to his channel to troll him, because if you're exposed enough to certain kinds of information, you can become fooled by it. You guys covered that in your critical thinking stream, that if you hear the same idea over and over without constantly fighting it, that on some degree, to some level, you'll eventually begin to adopt it.
All right, so I paused it right there because that's at the end of Ali's rant. We'll call it that. And so let's break down what Ali just said. So Ali just said that we are hoping that we provide enough evidence that this kicks Messenger out of our community. And she says we, and Messenger harped on that today. And as I pointed out to Messenger, that I do hope that people don't platform him. That I do think he's dangerous. That I've seen him do harm to people that I know. Ali has seen him. She didn't see him do it, but she's dealt with the results of the harm that he did to people she knows. Right?
And I was brought onto the channel because of the harm that he did. And that was explicitly explained to me when I, along with 4 other moderators, only 2 of which are now left, were brought on to bring order to the channel.
So you literally said there, now there's not cancel culture. There's nothing like, oh, we're trying to take Messenger's channel down. We don't want Messenger to be on, to have his voice. We're clearly saying that we hope that we provide, and we being a good word because I clearly endorse this, that we hope that by providing the timestamps, by providing the receipts, we can clearly show that this man has done harm, and until he makes reparations for that harm, he is quite capable of doing it again. That was our message, and that remains our message today.
Well, and, the message of that night as well, we got 3 people together. We were trying to get a 4th, but dropped the ball on getting Lady Tasha, and we're still hoping to, have her on, just to have her on. I just hope that
she got some conclusion. I hope she saw it, and that I hope she's proud. She hasn't responded yet, but Lady Tasha is dealing with a lot of shit, and I know some of it I don't. But I hope that what we did helps her a little bit.
Well, and, Surus agreed that he wanted people to stop platforming Messenger as an ideal, but at least do it thoughtfully as an aside. Aaron agreed as well and said that Messenger needed some mental help before he could be in a community like this.
And she also said that she would accept an apology if it was heartfelt. Doesn't mean that they would communicate or be best friends, but she would accept it. And I think that it is very much needed here, because ultimately this isn't about a raging atheist versus Messenger reveals. This isn't about Aliyah Kai versus a Messenger reveals. This is ultimately about the repeated attacks on Aaron and what he did with Shay and Lady Tasha, and the attacks on the credentials of Shannon Q. I don't want to leave that out.
Yeah, and the big thing that I wanted to do there was give them a platform for us to present that evidence and for them to air their feelings about it and to showcase their side of the story, because Messenger, they have stayed silent and Messenger has been shooting his fucking mouth.
And while we're here, and we have Shay in the side chat, so we can solve another lie that Messenger told, because I was very ragey and very emotional in the confrontation I had with Messenger reveals today. So I couldn't quite remember, but we literally had a debate between Messenger reveals and Shay on PTSD. I'm very certain that Shay has told Messenger reveals about her PTSD. Messenger repeatedly stated that did not happen. Shay, you are in the chat. Didn't you fucking tell Messenger reveals about your PTSD?
I can say, having watched that stream, and I said that in the chat at the time, that I saw Shay tell him about her PTSD in that stream. But that's just me.
I mean, that was a very significant chunk of the fucking conversation.
So, coming back to this point, the part that he clipped off at the beginning was talking about giving the victims of his abuse their time to air out their feelings because they've stayed silent. And the part that he clipped off at the end was stating that my hope is that if we ignore him, and that's why I said something as hyperbolic sounding as shut the fuck up about Messenger reveals and kick him out of the community. I said because, and he cut me off before these words, if we ignore him and stop giving him the attention he so obviously craves, he will likely leave on his own, because it's clear that this is an ego trip for him. And you can go check that freaking live stream to see if that's what I said.
But I do want to get to the cringe part. I told Messenger today that I was going to review this. I actually, after the conversation, and at the end, I do want to present some hope, because I think that there is a way forward. I hope that there's a way forward. I hope that Aaron can get some peace. I hope that, Messenger can I got so many things to say, because Messenger almost literally admitted that it was all a troll and he doesn't really have a cure. Which was all I've asked for all along. It was dude, you're obviously trained in this shit. You obviously know what you're talking about. If you have a good method, say you have a good method. But to say you have a cure, that's the issue, right? So, maybe there's some resolution. And then we'll get to that at the end. And I don't honestly know yet. I'm still, reeling. It's been a very busy day. But I want to get to the cringe part. So let's get through it, maybe? Because, it's really, really cringe. He just led up to it. We asked him for an adult thing, an apology to a person he hurt, that came out.
You might want to,
and said
you might want to hype out you might want to hype it up in speed so that we don't get tagged by the algorithm before you play that section. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
All right, doing so now. We're gonna hype it up to 1.5. Here we go.
So you think your countless hours of research engulfed in confirmation bias and delusion is gonna get rid of me? Well, here's my response to that.
Fuck off, I'll take you on. It's gonna take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, we're headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. It's gonna take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is not
going to take more than a 4-hour live stream circle jerk conducted by a handful of individuals who are easily offended, easily wounded, easily angered, and easily frightened to get rid of me, to get me kicked out of a community that they don't even have control over. I apologize to the larger skeptic community, those who are potentially being led astray by the...
What was he wearing? A monk's robe?
Yeah. That's Trapped, by the way. I got it wrong earlier, but that's Trapped that he played there. A song that was very popular during my childhood.
Oh my fucking god. Like, I literally told him, like, dude, I was laughing the whole time. I was literally laughing and almost crying the whole time. I felt bad for him in this moment. I really did. I really felt bad for him in this moment.
Well, and can I get some validation here, Knock? Do you remember what I texted you almost word for word that so-called apology was going to be after I read the description?
Yeah, oh yeah, you were dead on.
Like, word for word. And that's the sad thing, is how predictable he is. So I want to go towards something a little more positive, which I know is probably going to lose us half our viewership. We got 40 right now.
We're going to just get out of that because that was the cringe. So we're going to get back to the right screen, hopefully. There we are.
So, and I'm not even going to mock him, because he turned around and mocked people's characters. He mocked Cirrus. We showed that on stream. He mocked me. He mocked Knock. He's mocked everybody. He fucking tried to gaslight Doubting Thomas. Like, his entire thing is making these sort of prescriptions on people's behavior. But I want to go a little bit of a different route, because, you know, Knock and I have actually both had some very amazing experiences in our lives with real teachers. And I'm not talking like teachers at your school kind of thing. I'm talking about either spiritual teachers, which is what Messenger is claiming to be. He claims that he's a prophet who received a vision from God that gave him a universal model for human behavior that gave him the ability to cure PTSD. All right, well, even if we took him at face value, there are certain qualities that a teacher has. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the more positive side of the teachers that I've dealt with and compare that to the kind of ego that we're looking at, and share some of those experiences with you guys, because we both had them.
I definitely had them, but I'll let you speak first.
So, like, you know, a lot of you know that I'm Haida, and that, you know, I have had some training within my culture, and I don't talk a lot about it because it's something that is near and dear to my heart. It's something that doesn't come up very often on streams. It's something that I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to represent, so to speak, because there are so few of us, and because I cannot be registered with my tribe for reasons I've explained before. And y'all can go back through those VODs and look at that if you want to. I've talked about it many times. But my aunt, my great aunt, my grandma, and my great grandma, I used to go out to Whidbey Island in Washington to my aunt's ranch where they lived. And ranch farm, I'm not sure, it was 2 acres of wild land. She had animals on it. You know, there was plans of making it into a farm, but that never really happened. So it was 2 wild acres of grassland, like the kind of stuff that you see kids growing up with in the 50s and 60s that practically doesn't exist before, like, anymore. This existed on Whidbey Island when I was growing up. And there was a time where I was running around. I was fucking 6 or 7. I was running around like a crazy fucking ADHD little girl. And we ended up looking at, like, she stopped, and my aunt, like, stopped and looked at the ground when I was running around. And she goes, "There's something very special, and I want you to find it." And so, like, I found a ladybug, I found a cricket, I found, you know, a few things. And she was like, "No, there's something special in the ground." And so I go looking around for another like 10 or 15 minutes while she's getting more and more amused. And she, like, stops me and she says, "Here." And she parts the grass and she pulls up this, like, little yellow flower, and it looks totally normal. And it's actually chamomile, but I didn't know that. And she said, "This." And I said, "This is everywhere." And she said, "Something doesn't have to be rare to be special." And so she had me dig up a whole bunch of it. And then she had me go into the kitchen, and we prayed to the water spirits while we washed the roots and we washed everything. And I thought that was weird, because normally when we did ritual, we pulled well water. And so I'm like, isn't there something special about well water? And she said, water spirit, the spirit of water is in all water, even the water that comes out of the tap. And we prepared like the kettle and prayed to spirits involved with heat. And then we steeped the tea and said prayers for that. And then we sat there and mindfully drank the tea in silence. And in that moment, at no point was any of that about her or her special message delivery, or even about some proud tradition that we were carrying. It was a humble teaching. It showed me through her worldview that things became sacred when you saw them as sacred. That things became ritual when you turned them into ritual. That even something as simple as digging up weeds that ran rampant through your yard and making tea out of them could become beautiful. And that was humbling. And that was a real moment of teaching. And there were many lessons like that. When I was seeing my counselor earlier, which is why I was late getting here, he told me a similar story about making a medicine bag and putting that through ritual, having to make it by hand, putting it on the altar, doing all of that.
I have
and
4 medicine bags in my bedroom right now.
And then he went to the store and he got of this really special amethyst and he bought it and he brought it to his teacher. And his teacher said to him, everything is right about this except this rock. This rock is wrong. And he dropped it on the ground. And he goes, why? I went to this store and I bought this. It's special. It called to me. And he goes, and he like leans down, the teacher does, and he plucks a rock out of the gravel. And he said, this is the right rock. This is the sacred rock to represent, the spirits. And there was this like humbling moment for my counselor, where his teacher had like basically taught him that this idea that something has to be special or unique to be sacred is silly. It's not about you. Teaching is never about you. Healing work in the spiritual realm is not about you. There's a concept in both Lakota and Haida teaching called the hollow bone. You are a hollow vessel through which spirit works. And in my experience, true, like real Christian teachers, real Sikh teachers, real Hindu teachers, real Buddhist teachers, like people who genuinely want to help the world, tend to all have this humble quality. I'll let Naka share his stories if he wants to, but this is something that, like, when you look at a teacher, somebody who genuinely wants to help, this is something that you see.
Well, yeah, and so, I've spoken about a little bit about my experience in shamanism with inside the Native American religion. I came into it through a con artist named Ted, a medicine man, a bona fide medicine man at the time, but his actions came to light, and I paid a price for that. But there was a time when the teachings wasn't coming from Ted, when Ted actually took us to the reservation in Cherokee, North Carolina. Now, I received direct teachings from the elders of that reservation in a sweat lodge for 3 nights in a row. And I was accepted. They didn't see me as a white person. They saw me as a mixed breed. They saw me with enough blood. I'll put it that way. I was accepted. And I sat in sweat lodge, and I sat with elders. And they spoke of the hills of North Carolina and the hills of that area, because that area was Cherokee Nation. And we're talking about Georgia and Tennessee and North Carolina, this nation that was Cherokee at the time.
And there's something imprinted on the land from that.
Yeah, and they spoke of these lands as their god. They had a different religion as the Lakotas, and I've told people that when I practiced Native American spirituality as a shaman learning, Ted taught us the Lakota traditions, but he also taught us the Cherokee traditions. So I was able to learn these Cherokee traditions. And they literally saw the land as God, right? And they spoke to me about what it was like when they made the decision to stay on their land and not leave their God. When the rest of the Cherokee decided to go. And that's called the Trail of Tears. Everybody knows about that.
Well,
we,
and
we
you know
lost most
the
of our
people
people.
that the people that were left behind were often rounded up, and you know sometimes they were put into huts and
Yes.
burned alive.
Yes.
Sometimes they were executed, you know, like line style.
Yes.
Sometimes they had to hide in the hills and were rooted out. But those who survived that are still there eventually got some small right to that land from the government.
Eventually they got what is the reservation now. Now, mind you that this is one of the poorest reservations in the country. They rely on their one casino. At least this was back then. I haven't been there in a long time, but they had one casino, and they relied on that income. And that income was split amongst everybody. But that's not the point of the story. The story was when I was sitting in the sweat lodge with these elders, and they were talking about that decision not to leave their God, because their God was the land, right? It was literally the land, and the U.S. government was forcing them away from their living God that they lived with every single day of their lives. That they weren't just being forced to give up their land, but their God. By this Christian Andrew Jackson administration. An Andrew Jackson administration that took a Cherokee child from its mother, adopted it as their own, and raised it as their own. I speak of atrocity, I speak of genocide. But these elders, they didn't speak of that. They spoke of the Red Road and how there's still hope for everybody. That everybody could still come to the Red Road, that there was still hope, that the sacred hoop it didn't have to remain broken. That's what a true teacher does. They get over their anger and hatred.
Well, and we're talking specifically of spiritual teachers. When we talk about, quote, true teachers, this is something that, again, this was something my counselor brought up. You can feel the difference between somebody who is in it for their ego and somebody who has deigned themselves to be a hollow bone. Because those healers, you know, who help people genuinely, you know, those who are in it to help people, there is a humility to them. They often do not make claims that they have some secret special knowledge that was given to them and that they are the only person who can have it. These ideas of like putting out this conspiracy theory, etc., there are teachers in the world that can help you see the world differently. I'm not going to say that, you know, all of that healing is 100%, you know, like something that should be done. I will never say replace your medical care with shamanic healing, for example. But if you're looking for a spiritual experience in that way, and you are lucky enough to come across a sweat lodge that will allow you to join, there is a distinct difference between those who run those in those, you know, circumstances and those who teach, say, Buddhist teachings or Sikh teachings, etc. There's a humility to them that Messenger does not possess. Yeah, and we wanted to share those stories because this is 3 different traditions. My counselor's story is Lakota. My story is Haida. Naka's story is Cherokee.
Yeah, and again, you know, this whole thing is not meant to disparage Messenger. It's not. It's honestly, like, I had 2 chances to vent today. I vented earlier, put my foot in my mouth a couple times. I sometimes say things that I understand and others don't. So me and Allie really felt like we needed to come in solidarity, do this last stream, no matter what happens. And we're going to speak because there's a road forward. I hope it. I think it. I don't think anyone is irredeemable. I don't. I think that this is honestly, it can be solved if people talk. And Matt Pig was actually very right about that. Communication. I feel better today because I told Messenger Reveals to his face my issues. I feel better. I feel good. I feel great almost.
I do want to point out, though, that the reason it hasn't happened up until now is because Messenger wanted to do that in private and reconcile with you in private when what happened to Aaron happened in public. And you invited him to come on stream, and he said no.
Yeah, and I didn't really get to that on Matt Pig's channel, and Messenger was kind of claiming I didn't do that, and I specifically remember inviting him to a public stream And he
And
said,
we
no, I
invited
will
him to
not
a
do that
public
unless
stream
we have
repeatedly, too.
our private discussion that I did promise him. So I want to address that because I do feel like this shouldn't be all negative nanny. Again, I'm not really trying to shit on Messenger. I'm not. I want Allie to be able to vent. But I did tell Messenger Reveals I'd have a private conversation with him. I did. And I was shitty for not doing so. And I am I should honestly do it. And I think that it will be worth it if it can lead to resolution in this. I haven't spoken to Sirs today. I haven't spoken to Aaron. I don't know if that's even possible. I know Aaron said that she would accept a heartfelt apology from Messenger. But if me having a private conversation with Messenger will open the avenue to that ever happening possibly, I think it's well worth it. And not only that, but I did say it. I didn't do it. And I should give it to him. And I think that, honestly, he's not going to be able to change my position on this. Because as I told him to his face tonight, I do think he's dangerous. Until he's really willing to speak to Erin and give her that, what she needs, which is a simple apology. It's not going to make everything right, but it's going to be a first step. But there
An
is
honest
possible
apology,
resolution
too, not
here.
a claim that she's oversensitive.
Well, and I mean, based upon the apology we just watched, it's hard to believe that we'll actually ever get a heartfelt apology or whatever. But I am willing to make that attempt. For one, it shouldn't be said that a raging atheist isn't the one willing to do it. And for two, I said I would, and I didn't. And that is the 1 point Messenger has that was right. So I got to give it to him. I think I'm pretty much made up my mind.
And I think that you were right on when you said that there should be some sort of moderator in the middle. I think that it needs to be somebody who is as neutral as humanly possible, who isn't friends with any of you, or at the very least isn't particularly close to any of you. Honestly, I think that you guys need to pick somebody along those lines who would be a good moderator, just to have a third person in there, because Messenger is extremely manipulative. And we've seen him manipulate you and other people.
I said that quite clearly, that I do want to have a third person in that private conversation to where it's not just me and John. But I am willing to do that if he is. I think it's fair. I think that was his one criticism of me that is justified, because I did say it and I did not do it.
Yeah. So if you decide to do that, again, I think that it would be best done with a moderator who isn't particularly close to either of you, who could serve as neutral as possible. And I think that there needs to be an agreement that none of you is going to bring up the contents of that conversation in public whatsoever, because, and if we're not going to cover this again, so I'm not going to pull fucking receipts.
Yeah, like the only reason we would cover this is if that private conversation were to become public.
Yeah. There have been a number, Messenger says he doesn't out private conversations. I'm going to call bullshit, because in some of the streams we covered, he talked about private conversations that he had with people in a disparaging light. He has used these private conversations as ammo, as weapons before, because he puts people in a position where if they record that private conversation and out it, he gets to call them shitty and disingenuous for having done that. If they don't, it's his word against theirs. And I've seen him do this to people where if after that private conversation they have not reached an agreement, he will out those details and attack people with it. And so didn't want that to happen to him.
Allie, like the whole, because he brought up, I said that I had talked to him about in private about his behavior. And he was like, well, I ain't got no emails of that shit. And I'm like, well, fuck, we don't fucking email. Like, I clearly said, it was after, and after hangouts and shit. And I also did it on stream. And I promised him tonight that I'm going to make a fucking video highlighting that. And because he said I had no receipts, I fucking do. I told him repeatedly not to do this shit. I told him in after show fucking things when it was just me and him that I did not fucking like it. He's pretending like it didn't fucking happen because it was just me and him privately, right? Like just it's my word against his, so all he has to say is, well, it didn't fucking happen, you're being disingenuous. Well, I'm like, no, because I clearly said it in quite a few streams. He's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, now I gotta go through quite a few fucking long ass streams and find where I fucking did. Thank you.
Well, and again, you know, it's on multiple streams, and you've even invited him on multiple streams leading up to our debunk too. Like, you've said repeatedly that there is still an open invitation for Messenger to show up at any time during the very few times that he's been brought up or showed up in our live chat. So, like, if he wanted to come on and air his grievances, he's been able to, but he also
and he clearly said he wouldn't do it because I didn't have that private conversation.
But he's also made claims about other people and other private conversations. So my thing is, he's going to claim that didn't fucking happen. I don't want to make another video about him. I don't want to fucking make clips. There are people in this, like in the live chat, that I'm sure have seen this happen because there are a few people who have followed his appearances in places. But he has outed things said in confidence to him, and he has made claims about voice chats that happened in private and used those things against people. So I don't blame Knock for not doing that, because at the time he was hurt from having been manipulated. If he wants to do it now, that's fine. But having that third person there might also be a bit of protection against those potential lies.
I mean, I literally thought the best part of the stream tonight was when he told me that I wasn't hurt about the loss of our friendship. Like, the dude, like, Allie, shit, you know, tell me if... I give you full permission to tell the audience if I'm lying right now, but did I not just like literally tell you about the time that Messenger Reveals donated $150 to me when my daughter got sick? I literally said like good shit that Messenger has done for me. Like I have missed the friendship that I had with Messenger because I thought he was a Christian that was going to actually be a Christian that would help the cause, not hurt it. And then the PTSD bullshit happened.
Yeah. And like, you have repeatedly expressed the fact that for a long time it did hurt and you did feel betrayed because of what happened. And that, you know, for a long time you also felt like you didn't give, like...
I felt like my friendship with him kept me silent and it hurt people.
Yeah, you said that you didn't give Erin what she needed either because you wanted to hold on to the idea that he was different, and that's why you platformed him twice more after that, and that you regretted that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just completely disingenuous, and I don't blame him for his opinion. It's in the heat of the moment. You know,
but he did absolutely tell me about the $150 that he sent him when his daughter was sick. Like, he was telling me about, like, we were having a discussion about whether or not what we had actually called for was deplatforming or canceling. And we came to the agreement that we defined those things the same way, and that what we were doing was not that. We were asking the community to self-police, and if you are going to platform somebody like this, to consider how you approach it carefully and to have all the facts before you do it.
Which is why we ultimately spent a week, or you pretty much, and Aaron and Cirrus and Raz. Spent a week preparing for it, to bring the receipts, to bring the clips, to have the full story and not just be like, you know, we're speculating here. No, here's what was done. Here's what was said. And you know, I stand by that. Like, I don't consider the work against Messenger recently to be response videos. I consider them to be reveal videos. The Messenger was revealed. Now we can move forward. We can. But that's going to really be on him. It is. I will enter this private conversation, but the stipulation is this isn't about me. It's about Aaron. It's about Shay. It's about Lady Tasha. What you say about me is insignificant. Your lies against me are insignificant. I have proved my integrity time and time again. I'm comfortable with my position. This is about them.
Honestly, our response, like, the reason we did this was because Messenger, and we played this fucking clip, Messenger decided to shit talk his victims. We didn't respond because he said shit all about Knock. Like, that happened in the side chat, yeah. And yeah, he was informed of that. But no, we chose to respond because he made the claims about Shay hurting Aaron. So this was never about Knock in the first place. It was never about me. Like, I wasn't even involved in all this beyond, like, this is the reason I got involved in the channel, because Knock was like, yeah, I should probably clean my fucking channel up because this shit can't happen again. And Surus introduced us. So this event was sort of pivotal to me coming onto the channel. But apart from being somebody who has PTSD, who may have fallen for his bullshit during a really desperate time in my life and being worried that other people might get hurt, like, this is more about giving my friends a place to talk about this stuff. And yeah, I talked a lot during that stream because I went through all these fucking clips, but part of that was because Erin had to get up and get her tattoo inked, you know, like, cared for several times during that. Surus was exhausted and Knock was sick, so I had to fill a lot of fucking airtime.
Yeah, I mean, and I made that clear at the very beginning, like, and I said it tonight, like, in all honesty, I should have canceled the stream based upon my physical health that day. I woke up that morning with some shit, and it's because Michigan has been so up and down. Like, literally, like, it's springtime now. Like, maybe we'll have a blizzard tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I fucking don't know.
So, like, as far as all this is concerned, Knock made a commitment on Discord, and I'm gonna call him the fuck out for it because I respect him, and you call out people that you respect. Knock said, we're never going to talk about Messenger or even mention him by name on our channel a fucking again.
Yeah, like, if I see him in a live chat, I'm going to call him that guy. So.
Huh?
If I see him in a live chat, I'm going to call him that guy. Now, I'm going to have this private conversation, and I'm going to hopefully mend some bridges in the fact that, honestly, it's not even me that Messenger should be talking to. It's Surus. It's Erin. It's those, you know, it's not me. I was the unfortunate one that ran the channel that platformed it. He needs to apologize or have a conversation, private or otherwise, with the people he harmed. But I'm willing to be that first person to go there. We'll see if it happens. It's going to be on Messenger Reveals.
That said, the Too Long Didn't Watch shorter version of our stream is still being worked on, and it's still going to come out. That is something that we planned before we said that this was going to be the final word.
Yeah, hopefully by Saturday, maybe sometime next week, because I got really busy today. And, like, I should have been working tonight. I didn't work tonight. Instead, I had done no video work tonight. So, yeah, it's a very, very good day today.
So the reason that is coming out is because a 4-hour-long VOD is extremely intimidating, and we want to still have that story there with the receipt clips that are the most important for somebody who doesn't want to go through the whole VOD. Link to the VOD is going to be in iCards and the description, but that is something that Knock already had announced that he was going to do, and I still stand that that's probably a good thing, because if folks are concerned about this sort of thing happening in the community, having a quick thing and dirty thing that, that say somebody is going to have him on a stream can reference, that can be sent out like prior to, beforehand, is going to be useful. And again, we saw this as a community service. When we called him dangerous, we fucking meant it. We didn't say he's the most dangerous man on YouTube. We said he is dangerous and that he has hurt people. And Knock and I still stand by that. And we hope, Messenger, that you get the fucking help that you need and that you stop hurting people.
I actually think, like, the most dangerous people on YouTube are people like Teal Swan, people like Kent Hovind.
I want to cover Teal Swan. Like, Teal Swan is one of those, that's something that I'm curious about.
Maybe we'll do like a collaboration video on Teal Swan, because I love talking about Teal Swan. Haven't talked about it
and there's a creator who is formerly part of her cult that we've never actually interacted with, so maybe he'll be interested in coming on.
Oh, dude, my sister-in-law has some experience. She won't be interested in coming on, but she told me some shit. I'm like, what? Like, what? But, like, so to clarify, this will be the last drama stream, right? So if we have another stream on Messenger Reveals, it will be because he revealed information from a private conversation that I am going to have with him.
And our commitment is that he's not going to be mentioned outside of that context. So
I will be doing that shorter, condensed version, pointing people towards the 4-hour stream. I will be doing that still. And if we can find resolution here, if Messenger Reveals will find resolution with Surus and Erin, I'm not quite expecting resolution with Shay because they have some deep-rooted shit. But maybe, like, a little bit of resolution with Lady Tasha. If Messenger Reveals will own up to what he did, and there is resolution here, I will make an edited video acknowledging it fully and revising my stance. I want to say that as well, because I do think people are redeemable. There is no cancel culture. People make mistakes. People can rectify those mistakes. They can do it. They can choose it right fucking now. Messenger Reveals. You can choose it right now. And I'm willing to take that first step with you. Just make it a real step towards resolution, and we can end this drama. But go ahead, Ali.
Well, and my final word is, if you guys are concerned about my choice of verbiage or Nox's choice of verbiage,
I'll be right back.
Messenger might not be dangerous to those of you who don't have PTSD, but if he's willing to drive somebody into a triggered state and then yell at them that it's not actually about them, it's about the truth, and if he's willing to hurt people who have PTSD by telling them that it's their fault that they have it, that, as we showed on the stream, that they need to empathize with their attackers, or they can never heal, that they're in a victim mentality and can never heal without getting out of that. If he's going to abuse people in that way, that makes him dangerous to those people, and those are the people that he is targeting with his bogus cure. We have multiple streams with him saying, if you suffer from anxiety, if you suffer from PTSD, if you suffer from depression, we had clips on that stream. We're going to have them freaking timestamped fairly soon. I'm going to be working on that probably tomorrow as soon as my back allows. Like, he said, contact me for one-on-one discipleship and I will help you heal. I will cure you. So if he's claiming that he has this miraculous cure and that he's the only one that does and that he got it in this vision, yeah, that makes him fucking dangerous, because there are going to be enough people that believe him, if he keeps getting his platform grown, that he might actually hurt more people other than just Aaron and Shay. And it's clear that when people disagree with him, he gets abusive. We watched it happen over and over. We even watched it happen in MathBig's stream tonight. And MathBig did a great job of mitigating that. But not every person who's going to have him on their stream, there's might be one person in their audience who sees that and seeks him out for a cure and gets hurt. And we don't want to see that.
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. Quiet.
So, like, I just reiterated that, you know, he might not be dangerous to you, person who does not have PTSD, but to somebody who's desperate and in pain, well, somebody who, you know, or even somebody who just has the disorder and argues with him, we have seen what he can do.
So I don't want to say I don't have PTSD. I will just say I've never been diagnosed with it. I wake up from nightmares about once a month from hearing people screaming from being raped when I was in prison. So maybe I do. I don't fucking know. I've just never been diagnosed with it.
So that's where I'm at. And, you know, even if there are many people like that on the internet, he's somebody who hurt people on our streams. So we felt it was our responsibility to do something about it, and we did.
Yeah.
And now we're done.
And I made the point earlier, and I had to step away. For one, I really had to pee. I'm drinking coffee, so I'm really jacked up at 12 o'clock in the morning. I should not be fucking drinking coffee. But
I feel like that's my final word. Like, you said that I needed to vent. I wanted, like, more than venting, I wanted to, again, if I fucked up with Wujita, I wanted to make sure that that apology got out there and that the explanation for what I felt I was doing was there. And I wanted to make sure that, as far as the two of us are concerned, that we made it clear what we meant, what we said at the end of that video. Yeah. And what the intention was. And that's why, again, I don't want to fucking talk about this ever again. I'm bored of this at this point. I worked my fucking ass off. I have heard more of his voice than I ever want to hear for the rest of my fucking life. He used
not only
trapped of all things.
Not only like do we a fucking have, like plans for edited content, plans for, you know, trying to book people for our streams, plans for open rooms and what we're going to talk about. we're also dealing with the demonetization thing and where to take this channel. And then we're dealing with this. And we chose to deal with this. I'm not saying anything, but this is something that we have
places to put our fucking energy at this point. Like, now that we're done with all of the shit, we're not, like, I'm going to make this declaration also. And this is something I said to Knock, and this is something Knock replied was the truth. We're not going to get into a flame response war with Messenger. He's got a tiny ass little fucking channel that he's going to try to launch off this drama. He's probably going to follow through and create all those response videos. We don't give a shit. We put our fucking evidence out there. If he wants to lie and try to spin shit on his own, if he wants to cherry pick shit that he thinks is cringy or whatever, he can do that for his 22 subscribers. We're not going to feed the algorithm his name anymore and make any more fucking streams on him or any more videos or anything apart from the 2 conditions that Knox specified. We're done.
Yeah, exactly.
This drama is
done.
Bullshit.
And you reminded me of what I wanted to say. So the argument that I'm punching down, or Cirrus is punching down, in regards to the Messenger reveals, because this is an argument he's put forward and other people have put forward. I argued when I heard it that it was a very bad argument, and here's why. Because it's not about subscribers on YouTube. It's about professionalism, it's about training, and it's about claims, and it's about harm done. Here's a man that claims to have a master's education in psychology that has attacked the personal traumas of human beings and has misused that training if he had it. We are not punching down. We are exposing. Now, Messenger reveals you have an opportunity here. You do. And it's not Nakasuchi asking you. It's not Ali asking you. It's just the right thing to fucking do. Own up to what you did. Own up to it. Admit it. Tell them you're sorry. And move the fuck on. Because guess what? I'm going to give you that private conversation. I'm going to make that step. Because this should be resolved. I don't want to talk about it no more. Ali doesn't want to talk about it no more. We have bigger fish to fry than you. Because you're right. You have no sway here. Your YouTube channel is small. It's not about your YouTube channel. It's about your training and the usage of it. Own up to it. Be the man. Do it. Don't do it because I'm telling you to. Just do it because it's right. That's the way forward. And I'm willing to go there with you. And that's all I can say.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at. I don't ever want to go through. I don't want to comb through your fucking shitty rhetoric ever again, Messenger. I already did that once. I listened to hours of your fucking voice, dude. Like, I listened to the way that your stories changed.
You did that whole stream. The 7-hour stream.
I watched the whole motherfucking stream. I did. I watched it on double time, and my brain was fried, and I was literally telling my friends that I was researching how to do lobotomies to get that stupid out of my head. Like, there was brains blasted all over the wall because it did not fit. And I didn't just watch that. I watched every appearance on your channel. I watched half of that. Like, I watched approximately half of that stupid, like, freaking live stream set that he has of his appearances on other channels where I knew he referenced other people. There's a reason there were so many fucking clips. Plus all the clips in Shay's archive that I thought were lost from his actual channel where he talked about his cure shit. We did our fucking homework. I did my homework. I've heard more of your voice than I ever want to hear for the rest of my fucking life. My only beef with you is the claims you make and the people you fucking hurt, Messenger. Get my name out of your mouth. Get Nox's name out of your fucking mouth. Get Aaron's name out of your mouth unless you're saying sorry to her. Stop shit-talking fucking Shay. And if you don't, know that you ain't gonna hear from us again. You might think that that gives you control of the narrative, but honestly, Nox and I are just stepping down. We're done. We said everything we need to fucking say. And if you want to go back and be stupid, guess what? There's a 4-hour motherfucking live stream of your stupid that people can go fucking watch where we showcase all that shit you do. Your lies are coming crashing down around you, and they will keep crashing down around you, and you're going to be miserable if you keep this charade up. And I feel bad for you in that way. I hope that you can find help for this pathological lying, for this ego problem that you fucking have. I hope so, because becoming a lolcow on the internet is not a really good fate. Really? like, you might get that attention and validation that you're craving, that you keep claiming that everybody else fucking wants, but it's not going to end well for you. And if you hurt the wrong fucking people, there are serious ramifications for abusing people, even on the internet, dude. And if you hurt the wrong fucking person, you yourself could get in trouble. So, like, again, I'm fucking done. I never had anything personal against you apart from the people that you fucking hurt and the shit that you're saying, because I could have been one of your victims, and I don't ever want that to happen to anybody. So please, cut your fucking shit out. If you were serious about saying you were trolling about that fucking cure, come the hell out about it. Say that you know, have your fucking laugh and stop hurting people.
Yeah, like just come out. Like, dude, you could have a really good fucking method, right? That worked for people. That's not the issue. It's your word. Cure. That's what started all of this. All of it. That word. And I told you that. Ocean told you that. A lot of people told you that. And then tonight you admitted to stoking that. Right? Just come out. Just do the right thing. But it's literally been like 2 hours, Ali. We got to end this. This is the last word.
We're at an hour and a half. But yeah, it's an hour and 20 minutes, but this is the last word. We're done. I'm fucking done. You have a commitment from us. We're not even going to mention him by name unless one of those two things.
Yeah. I'll have this private
and
conversation.
neither of us have any interest in talking about him in private either. So don't fucking tell us what he's up to. We don't give a flying fuck unless unless that what he's up to has something to do with Aaron and a public apology.
Yep. And don't send me things from Messenger talking about me. Like, I'll probably find them anyway. But even if he does, I'm not going to talk about it. But like I said, there is a way forward here. And I want to finish on that point. We're going to finish on it. Messenger, it's all on you, man. It is. Like, I am leaving it in your hands. Like, how we move forward. I'm going to give you that private conversation. I'm going to hear you out. I'm going to tell you my beefs once again. I hope you hear them. Because I will not compromise on what happened to Aaron. I won't. So there's a way forward. We'll see if it happens. But as in regards to this conversation, we've given the receipts. And now we've vented all fucking day. We're done. It's over. I'm going to talk about... I literally am just finishing a video about Pastor Boyle of the NIFB and some NIFB dramas. Because the NIFB are splintering. Because our pressure is fucking working. What we're doing here is working. And I'm going to highlight that soon on my channel. So,
and I'm working on some response videos like that Pissed Off Polytheist, the pop series. It's coming, guys. It's fucking coming. And I'm going to be taking on some anti-vaxxers. I'm going to be taking on some shitbag apologists. And I'm going to be taking on a couple of folks in my own community that think essential oils can cure your influenza or coronavirus.
And the rebrand is definitely coming. Not sure of the name yet. Not sure of, but as I said on Matt Pig's channel, every edited video I ever make that's ever goes on this channel will be the Raging Atheist. That's me. That's what I am. That's what I started this as. And everything I do edited wise will be the Raging Atheist. So, you know, even after the rebrand, the Raging Atheist is still here.
So, like, after the rebrand, guys, we've got better places to put our fucking energy. So, you can see, we don't want to devote any more time to this because I spent the whole fucking week that I could possibly, like, have put into all that other edited content, getting that shit together.
That and your
I ain't doing that for nobody again. And you know what? There's another big debunk that's coming down the pipeline, and we're not ready to announce that one yet. But we've got one other lovely person in the community who's made some pretty fucked up claims, and we're working on some pretty heavy shit there too. So,
because that's what we do.
And this ain't drama. This is ideas. We're going after this person's fucking ideas, and we're gonna shut that shit down.
And again, I do want to reiterate, Wujita, again, dude, I don't have no beef against you. I once again apologize. You know, what I say about your comments, that's on you. Like, that's something that, you know, you'll grow and learn, and I don't want to take away any of your spunk or your fire. I made a mistake with you. I did. And you know, I apologize once again full-heartedly for it. I will always have love for you, Vegeta, because you was here. You was here, and
we got Jayco in the house.
Who's that?
Justin.
Oh, what's up, Justin? What's up, man? Sorry you're a part of this drama, but I did promise Math Pig, Justin, when we talk again, and we're going to have to make it soon. Like, Justin was, like, just here in Michigan, and I couldn't make it to see him. I was so disappointed. I really wanted to have, like, 10 minutes. Hey, surprise, that Christian vlogger, face-to-face again with the Raging Atheist. Didn't quite happen. But I did promise Math Pig next time we talked live on stream that I would let him in because he just really loves what we're doing. And so, Justin, you're going to meet Math Pig soon.
So, yeah, we're not interested in going after people anymore. We want to go after ideas. We're not a drama channel. We're not going to get involved in a flame war.
Yeah.
Messenger, respond to your
real quick, Allie. Let's talk about Steve McRae real quick because, all right, so Allie has really strong opinions about Steve McRae. I have really strong opinions about Steve McRae. Guess what? Neither one of us want to do. Neither one of us want to shut down Steve McRae. Not one of us. But we're not willing to like not call out bad behavior when we see it, right? And so like we're on the same page there as well. I just wanted to put that out there too, because maybe that was the misconception that I was like throwing you under the bus or something earlier today. No, me and Allie are on the same page there.
We trimmed those parts out of the stream because we, as 5 people on that stream, presented a united front. And there was one part where one of us disagreed. And out of respect for that creator, I trimmed those parts.
Yes.
And the Steve McRae point was one tiny point in a much larger picture.
And
so I was happy to take that out.
When it comes to Steve McRae, Allie will tell you, I know him better than she does. So I have more experience with Steve McRae. So my opinion on Steve McRae is a lot more nuanced than hers is. Because guess what? She sees the Twitter. She sees the bullshit, right? I actually see Steve behind the scenes, so we have slightly different perspectives on it. Guess what? That's called being human. It's called being human, people.
Well, and I'll cop to the fact that, like, I know, I'm new to the community, so my opinion on that is, number one, there are people that I know that got hurt, again, by that person.
Yep.
And number two, I've seen the fucking video where all of those allegations came from. I'm going to put it that way. And I agree with the people who are going after him. So from that position, regardless of the long history in the community, I'm going to call out shitty behavior. I'm not going to say Steve is a shitty person because I don't know him. I'm going to say that he did a shitty thing, and that's fucked up.
That was another claim by Messenger tonight, was that because I promoted you, right? Like, as if I promoted you. Like, no, I just recognized your merit and the work you was doing here. But because you represent the channel now, your opinion is automatically the opinion of a raging atheist. And no, like I'm saying, like I have a nuanced position on Steve, because I am in some private circles where he's at, and I've seen some shit that he's done that I really like. So, my position is nuanced. I do not agree with fucking apologizing for a rapist. I don't, and I called him out then. I call him out now. And if that makes me an enemy, it makes me an enemy. But I don't think he's necessarily a bad human being. Allie's opinion is stronger because she sees the bullshit that he puts out. So I just wanted to present some solidarity on that because, when I commented on the stream about it, it's because our opinions aren't Suris's, right? And so Suris was
and again, every other part of that message was a united front, and I didn't want to make Suris uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you did the right thing.
Yeah, I asked him, and he didn't even ask me to do this. I asked him after realizing he was so uncomfortable, which, by the way, I was also high off my fucking rocker. That was irresponsible of me. I was in a shitload of pain. I was not fucking thinking, and I also was not told that Suris had not come out with a position one way or the other. I knew that Shay had a position, and I knew that Nock had a position, and I knew that I did. So I spoke, and I spoke wrong. So I took responsibility for that. I messaged Suris and asked him if he would prefer, because he's supposed to mirror the VOD at some point, if he would prefer for me to take that stuff out, because we wanted to be a united front, and because I was not fairly representing him in saying that.
Yeah, you did the right thing. And
by the way, Messenger, Suris not fucking coming out with an opinion isn't him being scared one way or the other. He has his fucking reasons. Fuck off.
Yeah. Once again, Suris knows Steve and has his own nuanced opinion, which I am not aware of. We haven't talked about it, but he's entitled to that opinion.
And it wouldn't be our place to reveal it if we had.
Yeah, and if it goes against our opinion, guess what? Cersei is still my friend. Just because we don't agree on that. But at the same time, you know, like, I try to make it very, very clear, like, I'm not cancel culture. I'm not calling for the cancellation of Steve McRae. Steve does some good shit. All I'm saying is I don't agree with some of those things. And I definitely don't agree with, you know, pushing the envelope on the trans hate. I'm going to put that out there. Because he has walked the edge on it. And is getting called out. And should.
Well, and at this point, like, we're also going to make it clear for the future. One of the things this, like, sorry for the debate in the background. Give me a second. Hold on.
God, I probably just put my fucking foot in my mouth. What the fuck did I just say? I literally don't look at Steve McRae's shit, so, like, I hear that there's some trans hate.
Sorry,
I don't
my
want to say
door
that there's
is...
trans hate. I don't know what the fuck I shouldn't have said it the way I just said it. I put my foot in my mouth. I apologize.
Sorry that my door is not insulated. If they're in the hallway and they're talking, it's gonna get picked up. My apologies.
All right.
But like, regardless, there was a time for your channel, and this is gonna be my final word for the stream before you close out. And I think you and I negotiated this together with John Peterson back when he was more active on the channel. So I think that we all agree here. There was a time where you had sold your soul as a creator to the drama farm. You brought people on to get into fights, and that was the heart of the channel.
I like dumpster fires.
And that was the point of the channel.
I love
you took a
fires.
stance, and you took a stance on every single major bit or even minor bit of drama in the community constantly, and had those people on so they could fight it out and everything else. And it made a fucking mess. It made a huge goddamn mess. And it did not make for long-term sustained viewing. It didn't make for quality content. It made for short-lived, you know, flash in the pan. You got 1,000 views, but nobody looked at that video a year fucking later or even knew what was going on with it type stuff. And when you brought me on, you said you wanted to stop that.
Yeah, and we needed to. We needed to.
So we made the declaration that, you know, when you brought me on as a mod even, and I wasn't even, I was not a fucking co-host, guys. I put a shitload of work in, but I was not a fucking co-host until he announced I was.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even
what
know.
Gets me so pissed off by this narrative that I'm, like, led by different people. Like, I'm not trying to disparage in any way Cersei or Ocean or any of the people I mentioned that might be leading me based on the accusations. I'm not, because they've been good friends that have given me really good advice. It's just the notion that I, a raging atheist, one of the most hard-headed motherfuckers you'll ever meet, can be led by anybody is just so far-fetched to me, it's fucking beyond ludicrous.
Well, and the shoulder angel joke in the community, like, there have been a few times where I have been the voice of reason for Knock because he came to me for advice and was like, I'm going to go do the stupid. And I'm like, Knock, you should go calm down and sleep before you do the stupid. And Knock was like, I want to do the stupid. And my response was, go sleep and then you have permission to do the stupid if you really want to do the stupid. But I think that
and usually I don't do the
idea.
stupid when I wake up the next day.
And that's the point, is there have been times where he wanted to do, like, very angry, not very healthy things. And he came to me. Like, I'm not sitting here fucking bossing Knock around. He does not have to listen to me. He does not have to agree with me. He has done a lot of things that I think were not very smart.
Yeah, like, I get told.
So anybody who fucking thinks that I'm sitting here, like, making Knock do shit doesn't know Knock, and they don't know me. I come off as a lot more assertive than I am, first off. And second, like, Knock and I are basically brother and sister. I think you're probably mistaking respect, mutual respect for each other as equals for commanding or controlling, because Knock came to me and said, I want to stop the dumpster fires. Knock came to me and said he wanted to change his channel's content, you know, up again, and asked me what I thought worked. Guess what, guys? Your fucking response videos that you wanted to come back?
It was because of her.
Yeah. I told him to do what fucking worked before because he asked. He asked me and John, and we both each gave him advice, and he took both of our sets of advice, and guess what? The channel fucking got better for it. But I'm not sitting here manipulating Knock into some nefarious purpose. I, at no point, even thought he was going to make me into a co-host. Like, when he did that in December, I was as shocked as everybody fucking else was. Like, I just want to bring the vision that Nock communicated to me to life on this fucking channel. And every bit of work that I have done has been to fucking bring that forward, to do the things that he told me he fucking wanted. All the content we're working on, all the changes that are being fucking made, these came from him, not from me.
Yeah, because like I recognize my own toxicity. Like I'm not blameless here, right? Like I am me. I told Math Pig and them after a show, like you ain't got to worry about raging ever really disappearing. Like, yeah, I want to get rid of the raging when it's not necessary. Emotional responses just to be emotional aren't healthy. But there's always going to be rage because it's just in my character. I've spoken to Allie about this privately. I don't take much stock in the spirit animal thing. But when Native Americans labeled me as a bear spirit, they got it right because I'm a bear. I rage. I get angry. I think I deal with my anger healthy because I talk about it. A lot of people don't, right? Like
yeah, you talked out in the self-harm stream about how you used to punch shit.
Yeah, I literally bare my soul. I think a lot more than other people do. That's my coping mechanism, right? That's how I deal with the rage. Because
yeah, but there are times where going off and doing that on Twitter when you're drunk is not a good idea, and that's the kind of stupid that I'm talking about.
Stop drinking. I'm not gonna lie.
So, as far as that stuff is concerned, the only reason that I mentioned that is because there were a few of those accusations in some of those streams and everything. But my final word on this,
and they've come up again, Allie. Honestly, and again, once again, before we end the stream, we need to put out that challenge. Like seriously, if you want to come in and challenge Allie, we have put out that challenge. If you want to come in and challenge me,
y'all want to fucking try to prove to me that I'm doing stupid shit to not come out here and fight me, guys.
Yeah,
like there is still an Allie versus the room. If you are a Christian apologist who fucking hates me, if you're an anti-theist who wants to take a pagan down a notch, or if you're somebody who seems to think that I've done something to Nock's brain somehow to like change the way that he thinks and feels like I'm manipulating him or whatever, come the fuck on the channel. Nock's not a moderator like worth a shit, so you're not really gonna be moderated. It's just gonna be you and anybody else who hates me getting to fucking try to take me down a peg. Go ahead.
Yeah, and trust me, my suckiness won't apply just because, you know, me and Allie are like brother and sister. Like, my suckiness will still apply in that situation, I guarantee you.
So, like, that's the final word. The reason I brought all that up and all the manipulation and all that shit up is this. We have shifted the direction of this channel. This was the last remaining major bit of drama from the old era. That
except
because of the actions
Powell,
of the
always be going on, but you know, it's
but I mean, he's not really drama so much as he's his ideas at this point. You're taking down the NIFB. It's not
activism.
about Pat Towel. It's about the people he works for.
I like that slight little thumbs up to SJ's thing. You know, like some people took offense, like, no, he's Cupcake. You know, Pat Towel works as well. I fully endorse Pat Towel. But he is Cupcake. He is Cupcake, people. Don't get it twisted.
So, yeah, the come at me, like, is because that challenge has been sitting out there forever, and despite all the fucking hate mail that Nock has gotten, nobody's taken us up on it. But the reason that I brought up the rest of it is we have changed the direction of this channel. That was the last little lingering bit of personal drama on it that was continued not by us, but by the other person involved. We're done. We're fucking done. We're done with that era of the channel. We're not going to be commenting on community drama unless we fucking have to.
Yeah, like unless we really have to. I want to focus on...
And that's the kind of stupid that I'm going to stop Nock from doing.
Well, and I do want to focus on the Christian God argument. I want to focus on... I want to start looking at Hinduism. I want to start looking at other things, Scientology. I think we're both in agreement. It's far past time we look at Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a lot of things that we want to do. I am starting a series. I'm going to be going through the entire fucking Bible, pointing out what I think is
you
stupid.
Better fucking invite me for that third episode, goddammit. I have a lot to say about the Garden of Eden in the fall.
You're not going to let me forget, because if you do let me forget, then I will. So don't let me forget. But
but yeah, like seriously, we're done with the drama shit. We're fucking done.
Yeah, we're done.
Guess what, guys? Like, that's our promise. You got it on tape. You've got this as receipts, guys. There's 2 conditions under which we're going to message that we're going to mention that name at all, or the YouTube fucking handle, There's 2 conditions. That's it, guys. We're done with this shit. We're gonna move on and you're getting some quality fucking content down the pipeline. This channel is changing, but it's changing for the better. And I hope you guys will be with us for the ride.
Yeah. And if you don't, like, I understand. You know, like, do you? Maybe one day you'll come back and shit'll be just so much more better. I have hope for everybody. And we're gonna get out of here. One last warning. Patreon slide still not updated. New patrons will be on the slide tomorrow. That doesn't include, like, you know, edited videos I already recorded with the slide. So we'll be fixing it. Peace out. Be the conversation. Messenger, it's on you. The hammer's in your court. How we move forward is yours. Good night.